Since a young guy in the barbershop, I started cutting when I was 19, 18, 19, something like that. There has been a reoccurring thing that has happened that I'm really thankful for. I was reminded of it today by a friend of mine, by a phone call. And it's that I don't know if folks know, and I want to talk about goals. This video is about goal setting. And I really want to stay focused on the word goal as a singular word versus plural, goals. Since a young cat cutting hair, prior to me becoming a hairstylist, certainly prior to me becoming a salon owner, I've always been approached by individuals in multi-level marketing companies. And when folks would be involved in multi-level marketing companies or network marketing companies, in particular, so even when I think back, I realized that entrepreneurship or owning a business is something that I was destined to do because of some of the qualities that maybe I had even before I knew that this was. I've told you in previous videos that I didn't really think that I wanted to own a salon until maybe 6 months before I even got mine. I didn't grow up as a stylist wanting to be a salon owner. I didn't. But what happens is these companies tell the individuals to go out and make lists. And on the list, they want you to find folk that are influencers, that are business-minded, that are popular, that are that know a lot of people, and for whatever reason, I would always I'm talking about multiple, I can name maybe about 8 different network marketing companies that have came through my city, and it never fails. As they begin to populate, man, I will get calls sometimes from more than one person. Yo, Ray, man, I just got involved in Quickstar or prepaid legal or whatever. Man, I need you to come check this out. And there were some of the companies, honestly, I did get involved in. Some of them I'm still a customer. Some I'm even a promoter of the business to this day. But so I got introduced to that world very young, I would say, teenage. And it's nothing that my parents ever really did in front of me. It's just because of my personality, I would get involved in those kind of businesses, or I would get introduced to that. Now, here's my point as I talk about goals. If you're going to get involved in network marketing companies and multi-level marketing companies, there's another thing that is going to happen to you that is something that it's almost like it's not even a choice. You're going to be introduced to personal development. You're going to be introduced to people, to authors. You're going to be introduced to books. You're going to be introduced to goal setting. You're going to be introduced to, you're just going to be introduced to this world of growth, of learning, and of expectations and things like that. So there were people like Robert Kiyosaki, guys, that at 19 years old, I was introduced. 18 years old, I was given that book. And some people are even introduced earlier than that. And my children, whenever they can start talking, I'm shoving Rich Dad Poor Dad in their face and books like that, and Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. So early on, even though I was just a quote unquote hairstylist for a lot of people don't really even know this, the entire time that I was cutting hair, the entire time I was working in salons, and definitely as a salon owner, I've always been connected to personal development, to books, to tapes, to conferences, to audio books. It's just a part of who I am, and it had everything to do with early on. I can think of one guy in particular early on that was a barber of mine. He was just on me, man. You should come out and you should check this out. So 19, 20, 25, 30. I've just always had that around. Now, one of the things that is an overturning. It's so many things. My goodness, I could talk for hours about how that has helped me as a hairstylist, as a man, really, but definitely in this field that had nothing to do with watching a hair tape. There's something that's overturning in those businesses that are viable businesses, I think, that are just incredible businesses. And the people that are involved in that, my goodness, man, I've learned so many things from people over the years. There's still names of people from companies that some I was in, some of them I wasn't in, but there were certain speeches and things that they said that still resonates with me today, 10, 15 years later. But one of the things that they talk about, overturning, all of the business talks about them, is SMART goals. And I just want to talk about that for a minute, because as I develop people on my team, as I develop people around me, as I promote myself individually in the education realm, I realize that there is something that's happening out in the world that I think is attributing to a lot of negative business practices or life practices or marriages or friendships or parenting. You know, all of these things are connected to, there is a fear. I mean, a fear, like scared. There is a fear associated with setting goals. Soak that up for a minute. There is a ton of folk that are afraid to say, I'm going to whatever. There's people that are afraid to say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to, finish college by this year. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be the top hairstylist in my city. I'm going to win this thing, whatever. Folks, that's not everybody doesn't have that. That's not common like you think it is, you dig? And especially, you know where I find it common at? Children. Children have it, but as we get older, man, the world jumps in your mind, jumps in your space and says, well, you need to be realistic. You don't need to go and overshoot. You know what I mean? Don't be so ambitious. And that just takes over us. So we have to almost be reprogrammed or be retaught, if that's a word, how to be confident, how to be assertive, how to be an achiever, successful. So SMART goals. Now this is just simple stuff, man. You can go online and there's tons of websites and PDFs about SMART goals. But this thing to me is something that I got early on in life, and I've always kept it with me. It's not even a tangible thing, right? It's not a video collection or a pair of shears. It's this thing here that has helped me over time. What is SMART? SMART is an acronym, SMART, and then goals at the end. The S meaning that you need to set goals that are very specific. And I'm gonna tell you, each one of these words, guys, people are afraid of the letters, let alone the word goal. They are definitely afraid of the letters in the acronym. Specific. People don't want to do that, guys. They don't want to sit and put they want to have wiggle room. You know what I mean? Somebody say, man, let's say if I'm talking to a stylist, listen, man, I'm a salon owner and I'm telling you, you need to be able to do $2,000 in sales a week. They kind of well, what about 800 to 17? They want this big gap. I'm just talking about people, myself. Let me put it on myself because I don't want nobody to think I'm talking about them. But I think this is a positive video. This is not me trying to be negative at all. But the idea of specific, I want to be able to achieve this. I want to win this award. I want to be the top colorist in my city. I want to be one of the top 20 hair cutters in the country. I want to be a platform artist for this company. I want to have this many brides this season. I want to be specific. Guys, you got to do it. You got to set goals and you got to be specific. M, there needs to be measurable goals. Now, how does that relate to hair? Somebody say, I just want to be good. That's not really measurable. I mean, it's a good thing, but I just want to be good. I just want to be great. That's not really measurable, dude. Even if your influence is by money. I want to make money. What's the measure? Measure means you're going to have to put some type of, you have to quantify it, right? You're going to have to put a quantity on it. I want to be booked with 8 people a day. People are afraid to say that. And see, I'm appreciative because I wasn't. So I came in the industry always thinking SMART goals. I want to make this amount of money a month. Some people are even afraid to even talk about the money because it will remind them they're not achieving goals. Ooh, they don't even want to talk about how much you make a year or a month or a quarter or as a business. Or are you profitable? Are you upside down? Are you in debt? They don't even want to deal with it. Like, people don't want to open up bills. They don't even want to deal with it because it will remind them that they're not hitting the goals. Now, it doesn't wash the evidence away, but it will remind them I'm not hitting goals. So it has to be measurable, specific and measurable. Listen, the A, it needs to be something that's achievable or attainable, that folks can see, that you can see. You know, don't have something that's just like, you know, I want 1,000 salons. See, and I'm going to talk about attainable and measurable and all these things. I know of people, man, that will say things like, you know, I started my salon with one chair, one of everything, one waiting chair, one styling chair, one dryer, one sink chair. I just had one of everything. I just opened up. Would I suggest it for everybody? No. But I wouldn't suggest this either. I wouldn't suggest the idea of saying, well, man, I'm not going to get started until I get 20 salons to begin. I don't want to get started until I'm making, my haircut is $300 for a cut. Folks, that's just as bad as the person that won't get started or says, I'm afraid. It's somebody that keeps putting something that's almost unattainable at the beginning, or it's not, well, I don't want to say unattainable, because you could have those things, but sometimes people shoot their goals so humongous, it's an excuse not to actually get started. Just begin. Results driven are, guys, put yourself on a goal that has a ending, right? And I feel like results driven is also connected to the last word, which is time bound. So I'm gonna talk about them in relation together. Put it on a timer. Like right now, we're less than 30 days out from 2015. Guys, give yourself a goal that you need to hit that you're not hitting today by January 1st. It could be a small goal. And fully commit to it. Listen, if you're not doing enough short hair, if you're not doing enough hair color, if you're not getting 8 o'clock appointments in the morning every day consistently, if you're not watching videos, listen, tell yourself, I'm going to do this by the 15th. Put yourself a goal that has nothing to do with even money. It's just heart, effort. Put something that is time bound, and give yourself, I'll even give yourself some type of consequences or something, but put yourself on it. Now that's all personal, guys, because guess what? You could be specific, measurable. You could say all those things. And I think about it, man, because, you know, we have like vision boards. And that's something that I really believe in. But as of late, I've gotten away myself of an entire vision board and having shorter one singular goals. And I like to put it on my phone as a screensaver, right? And it's just one thing that I'm trying to get accomplished. One, it may be a personal goal. It might be weight. It might be debt. It might be my business. It might be a family goal, you know? And then there is a level. Now, let me just fast forward. Let's talk about what happens when you hit them. Let's talk about the feeling you get from hitting a goal. I don't even know how to describe it. When you actually put something out there, it could be small. Just recently, I was able to host my whole family for Thanksgiving. And I told myself I wanted to be able to do a major family event at my home. and for money not to be a problem, and for me to lay it out and have it. I'm talking about people. I wanted a full house to house. I wanted to be able to have the time to do it. I wanted my mind to be clear that I wasn't thinking about business as I was doing it. I wanted to have people from both sides of my family, my personal family, as well as my in-laws. I wanted to have an event, and the opportunity came when we was asked, and my wife maybe even suggested that we do Thanksgiving. And let me tell you something. The fulfillment, this is simple. The fulfillment of that, knowing that there were times when I spent Thanksgiving living in the salon. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that in 2007, stuff got real. I was about to say, I can say it, shit got real. And I was broke. And that Thanksgiving, I spent living in the salon. I lived in the salon for about 8 months. A lot of people don't know that story. But I was homeless. But I realized I couldn't have a crib and the business. So I gave up my crib. Fend off. I didn't want to date anybody. I literally was just like, I'm going to tough this out, and I'm going to go by a friend's house and take a shower. I'm going to eat out every damn day. I couldn't cook. I don't know how to cook. But still, and a lot of people, my clients didn't even know anything. What does that got to do with that? So 7 years later, when you're able to, with enough space, to invite your staff and your family and your mother and you know what I mean? Like that feeling, that goal that you accomplished that was little. Or recently I've been able to kind of lose weight, and you can have this, you know what I mean? Sometimes, I don't need to lose weight. You may not. But let me tell you, what, 10 pounds down, 20 pounds down, and you actually set that goal, something that got triggered by a network marketing company. Guys, I can't explain it. Man, I was getting individual awards in my city for, it's something called there's an award show. And I was getting individual awards. But I made up my mind, the very first individual award I gotten, and they were giving out a salon award. I said, man, I want to win for the business. I don't want it to be just about me. And then the next year, I tried really hard to say, I want to win. Out of all the salons in the city, I want to win Salon of the Year. And I didn't win the next year. I wasn't bitter. And I believe that the person that won it should have won it. You know what I mean? They could have won it like anybody else. She had a beautiful salon. But I guess what I said, next year, I'm winning it. Now see, this is where people want to call you arrogant, because the world don't know how to take confidence. They don't even know how to take it. They don't even know how to, they think anything other than doubt and insecurity is cocky, is arrogant. Well, what's confident? That's another YouTube. But guess what I said? When I lost in 2012, in 2013, I'm going to win Salon of the Year. I didn't even care about the individual awards. And I remember sitting at the table when they were announcing the awards, and I had already won maybe an individual award. I don't want to be dismissive, man, but I just want to make a point. In my mind, we had it. We had worked hard at developing a business that would be acknowledged, that wouldn't just be about me. And when they announced that we were nominated, there was one year that we wasn't even nominated. That kind of triggered, like, whoa, wait a minute. We must not be running a full business. I don't want people to think this is just about the kid. Second year we were nominated, and then we lost. The next year I said, man, we're winning it. And I remember sitting at the table with my staff, full staff. And they had given out awards, and I saw a bunch of them on their phones as they were about to announce the winner of Salon of the Year. And I quietly said, hey man, y'all need to get off your phone. We about to go up there and get it. And they kind of looked at me, and it was all this happened in kind of like seconds. They kind of looked at me, and I looked back like, put your phones down. Stop being distracted. They're about to announce us as Salon of the Year. And the winner for 2014, Salon of the Year, meaning out of all the salons in the city, guys, and there's tons, there's hundreds of them, our little operation, they said Rhythm. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I knew it. You know what I mean? Like, I had worked for it, and I knew we could get it. And if we would have lost again, I would have just worked for 2015. But I knew if any time we got it. And guess what? I feel like we earned it, right? But it was a goal that was set out there. And it was like everything I was doing was locked into that. So with the SMART goal, that was just that's just minor. I mean, but what is SMART goals? What are they gonna do, guys? They're gonna set you up. And other things are gonna be developed. See, I think we're trying to take almost like we take medicine, and it really takes care of the symptoms. It don't cure the problem. It's just you got a runny nose, so it dries you up. But it don't take away the virus. You got back pain. You know what I'm saying? So it'll cure the pain, or it'll cure the sensation of pain to the nerves, but it doesn't cure that you got a pinched nerve. You feel me? Like you got back problems. So really the medicine is just kind of doctoring up. We're trying to doctor up things. I was asked recently by someone about, man, consistency. I want to be more consistent. And my advice to them that I would want to give is set a goal. Set a goal that scares you almost, because it's going to push you. It's going to push you. Make it specific that it'll push you. Make it measurable. That means you and other people can say, nope, you didn't hit that. See, that'll scare you enough. Make it attain, and I say scare, not like fear, but it'll make you get up in the morning. It'll make you stay up late. It'll make you think things through. It'll make you say, nah, I'm gonna pass on going out. Nah, I'm gonna pass on spending all my money on just clothing. I'm gonna spend it on some education. Put a goal out there as a hairstylist, man. Make it attainable. Make it results driven, and make it time bound. And I'm telling you, man, your consistency will change. You know what? Your professionalism will change. Because if your goal is to say, let's say your goal is to hit 8 people a day. That day when you hit 2, you're gonna start thinking. You're gonna be like, wait. My goal is to hit 8 people a day, and all I had was 2 today. And I gotta hit that by January 1. Yo, let me look around. Like, what am I doing wrong? You know what I'm saying? I mean, let me start asking some questions. Let me get some classes. Let me talk to some people. You know what I mean? My goal is to hit, I want a $4,000 a month. I want to make at least $1,000 a week. And then you get your check, or you count your money down at the end of the week, and you just made $250. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm so far away from my goal that I got set on my phone, on my vision board. You know what I mean? You're going to change. Somebody say, I'm not consistent. I'm not assertive. I'm not confident in marketing. I'm not punctual. I'm not a lot of things. Guys, those things are like the symptoms. The problem is you don't have real goals set out there. Something that you're chasing. Something that you get up in the morning, you wipe the coal out your eyes, and it's there. Something that before you go to sleep and before you close your eyes, you're thinking about it. Whatever that is, man. And there are people out there in our industry, makeup artists, hairstylists, nails. Guys, some of them are just raw talented. Some of them. But some of them have developed the skill of setting goals and hitting them